Hey guys, it's Moonlander back with another horror movie review, and today we're going to be looking at the new remake of Jacob's Ladder.
Jacob.
I'm hearing things. I'm seeing things. Faces.
Hey, baby.
What are you doing? Demons. They're coming after me. Because of Isaac.
Jake, what is going on?
Do you think I'm making this up?
The only thing that burns in hell
They're all in on it.
is the part of yourself that refuses to let go. You will see devils tearing your life apart.
Now this came out on August 23rd, and it's $6.99 to rent. And it pains me to remind myself that I paid that much to watch this movie. And I would like to mention that the night before watching it, I watched the original after some time. I mean, it had been years. Yeah, and the original is a really good suspense horror movie that is creative and genuinely creepy. So in this new one, we have a different guy playing Jacob Singer. They use the same name. And now this guy served in the military present day as a surgeon. And his brother was in as well, but he was in the infantry. And he supposedly died while deployed over there.
This guy's coding.
Checking airways.
It's his brother. Isaac's been dead for over a year.
This Jacob Singer is back home with his wife and his newborn baby, and now the wife used to be in a relationship with his brother that had died.
I got we've had issues with your brother.
I hit her first. Our relationship was complicated. And it was all my fault.
But all of a sudden his brother turns up, and he's living in some tunnels under the subway system, hooked on a drug that's supposedly supposed to help with PTSD. And at the same time, he starts having visions himself. He's seeing things that aren't there, people that aren't there. And now this drug his brother's hooked on seems to have harmful effects on these veterans. And he now thinks there's some conspiracy to cover it up and to continue to supply it to vets. So we're just gonna go straight into the bad things because there are no good things in this remake. And I will say this movie would have greatly offended me even if I hadn't watched the original the night before. But having watched the original the night before, this movie was so offensive I could barely make it past the 30-minute mark. So in this remake, they steal scenes from the original, and I say steal is because the only reason I can imagine that they would put these scenes in this movie and not try to make them better or make them their own or make them interesting in another way is just for a lack of their own ideas for this movie. Now they use the ice cubes in the bathtub, but instead of a frantic wife running down a apartment hallway knocking on neighbors' doors trying to get more ice because her husband would die on the way to the hospital, we got a wife just bringing in bags of ice from somewhere. And then we have the car chase scene where Jacob Singer's running down a bridge or some alleyway and this car's swerving to run him over, and there's some mysterious looking figure that waves to him after it passes on. Well, in this one, it's just the hooded guy that gets scared away because a cook comes out of a restaurant just in the nick of time. And why they put this scene in this remake, it baffles me, other than it's just filler in this crappy movie. And now I think the opening of the original is awesome. When he's in Vietnam and they get a call on the radio, there's movement in the tree line when they're all just sitting around teasing each other and hanging out, and they immediately panic, and that's when the drug takes effect on these guys in this original movie. And people are behaving irrationally. They're running around in circles, having seizures. I mean, it's scary. It's like, what the hell is the cause of this? And then you got the whole subway scene where he wakes up and he thinks he's missed his spot, and he sees this bum laying on one of the seats, and he sees the tentacle quickly move by, and it's scary, it's creepy, it's gross. Well, in this one, there's a bum laying on the subway, but all you see is his messed up feet. And it's just so lame. And when he watches the subway cars go by in the original, like the silhouettes of people that look like they're looking at him, they look scary. It looks like it shouldn't be. But in this one, you just see silhouettes, but there's nothing creepy about them. And the fact that they just put that in there, just ripping off the original, but not even trying to recapture the magic of it in the slightest. And in the original, it's actually based on a story of LSD actually being tested on soldiers in Vietnam, which I've never heard of, but after the movie's over, it exclaims this. And whether it's true or not, it doesn't matter. I mean, I believe it's possible because, you know, the government, you know. But in this one, there's no sense to this at all. These may be spoilers, but I mean, who cares? Don't watch this movie. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your money. It doesn't deserve it. But anyway, there's like just some guy that's making a drug that he thinks is gonna help people handle post-traumatic stress disorder, yet it is addicting and it just messes them up, and they live homeless in tunnels under the subway system. Yeah, and I'm just gonna keep giving it to them, but why, I don't know. I'm just sitting in my secret lab making drugs for people for no profit or no reason. I don't know. To me, it was silly and it was stupid. So needless to say, this movie is awful. It's hard to sit through. I really wanted to shut it off, but I wanted to make this review to prevent you from paying to see this. So my final thoughts on this 2019 Jacob's Ladder is this is a completely uninspired, devoid of creativity remake of a film that is actually really pretty good. And I just can't figure out why someone would want to participate in the making of a meaningless and pointless remake. And I can't imagine they expect to make a profit off of this movie. If they do, I mean, I hope it's like marginal, and I hope it ruins people's careers that were involved in this as far as filmmaking goes. So please do not watch this. Don't pay to watch this. 1 out of 10. Okay, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next review.